All my enemies are suffering. I mean, how do they used to sing that song? All my enemies are suffering.
Yeah. All they want to scatter. Yeah, that one.
Good morning.
Which enemies? What
all
enemies?
All of them, even the ones that don't know them. So the ones that are coming tomorrow. It's not going to be fun for you.
Okay.
Mambo vipi lakini?
Mambo.
Good
Freshy.
morning.
Good morning.
I
Mambo
came swimming.
sour.
Morning, Kev. How are you?
Swimming?
Yes.
Like I did.
I'm telling you, if I can even show you the video. Can you even see it from where I am?
So I'm the only one here who doesn't have a video.
You don't want to see mine. Do.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Mine was the rivers of Babylon.
Mine was the Indian Ocean waves raging like floods that swept some people while they were running after the Israelites.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That little boy is here. El Nino. We were told that it's coming for about 4 weeks in May. El Nino will make its way to the East African coast. Of course, waters coming off of the Indian Ocean. We were told that it's going to happen. And here it is, actually.
Yep.
Yeah. So
State of preparedness, really. Lessons learned from the previous floods. Did we open those waterways?
Lessons
Lessons learned.
You don't want this guy to start.
No, but I think for me this morning is a miracle, really, because you know, when you go to visit your relatives in Mutalia, right inside Kangundo in Machakos, and then it rains the whole night, and the bridge decides that you're not going to pass, and you imagine that yes, you can go through it. So halfway, you begin to see yourself getting into the river.
Wow.
And this is happening around 4:15 in the morning, and you're like, God, have mercy, there is no one. You will scream, shout. The leaders of Machakos County, Matungulu constituency.
Wait.
Matungulu West.
Sasa, you're telling us,
please work on your roads and the bridges.
You have come from Matungulu this morning.
I have come from Machakos County, Matungulu.
Hey, Jesus. Father Lord.
I went to see my relatives last evening, and Eve was like, no, Sido, just come please tomorrow. We have to do this thing. Let's do this thing. And because you do not want to...
You don't want to upset Eve.
You don't want to be a bad person. You're like, oh yeah, I will sacrifice. And then the sacrifice becomes a sacrifice, a real one. This morning I said to have been, oh yeah, I know, ladies and gentlemen.
Moment of silence.
This note, I know you know him, you have interacted with him, but we want to announce...
God forbid.
God forbid.
What's
it's
that?
a good thing you're here.
That's a bad one.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
Stephen Mule.
Stephen Mule is
MP.
The MP for Matungulu.
Yeah, I hear they are saying there are no votes there.
So that's why they want to. Can you
imagine how terrible the roads are? And then you tell people, kura yenu haitoshi.
Interestingly enough, you know what?
Yeah.
You see this Syokimau that's here that's now becoming the wardrobe of Nairobi.
Yeah.
Fast becoming the wardrobe of Nairobi.
Yeah.
That is what one, what is his name even? The current Labour CS. She's so unforgettable sometimes.
Alfred.
That is what one Dr. Alfred Mutua said about Syokimau when he was campaigning to be governor of Machakos County. He said that there are no votes in Syokimau.
No, it's unfortunate. It's a bad thing even to tell people, and as a leader, it's the worst thing you can think about.
It is.
Don't even worry about that one. He promised us a Grand Prix
in Machakos.
In Masaku. So
Masaku Grand Prix on the World Circuit.
Grand Prix, World Circuit, Lewis Hamilton. All those guys will be coming here.
Boy.
I heard someone saying that in 2027, you will be asked to go and stand close to what work you have done. If you said you would put up a stadium,
stand next to the stadium. In fact, I love that idea.
I think so. In fact, there is one that has been launched that will be concluded every 6 months.
Wow.
Kamarin Stadium.
Wow.
Usmame hapo every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
And there's a bridge I also had called Nithi.
Nithi Bridge has been launched a number of times.
Yes. So people are going to stand close to bridges, roads, stadia.
Tuonyeshe kazi yako.
And the schools that they said they would build.
Yes.
Yeah. And including the children that they said they would send to schools that are now stuck at home.
Unasema children. Mimi nataka nifike poti ya Singapore.
Bado wewe unataka kwenda Singapore?
Tutafika Seto.
Hivi hajakunywa kahawa? Unakunywa kahawa? Bado? Go and drink some coffee. Because we can see you are awake. Jiminy Cricket. She spoke to me yesterday, and see, today I'm doing a little bit better. Let me tell you about the Nithi Bridge. Can you hear?
Yes.
Listen.
Oh.
bridge hapo imesumbua sisi na nakumbushwa kila siku inaitwa Nithi Bridge. Hiyo Nithi Bridge contractor amefika hapo kwa hapo.
Ako kwa hapo.
Na tumemwambia hiyo Nithi Bridge we will build a modern bridge there.
Hallelujah.
Nithi itakoma.
This is another day.
Kwa wananchi wa hapa Meru na Tharaka Nithi na sehemu hii. Tayari tuko sasa katika hiyo mpango yetu ya budget ya mwaka huu. Pesa ya kubadilisha ile bridge na hata barabara isiwe inapitia mahali ambapo iko na matatizo kiasi ile. There is
day 3
solutions.
Another day.
2.
One will cost us 5 billion shillings.
Wow.
And they have designed how it's going to happen. The other one is going to cost us 50 billion shillings. And they have told us to make a choice between, are we going to do one that is going to cost us 5 billion? Are we going to do another one or the other one that's going to cost us 50 billion? Hii ni the bridge nitatengeneza. Inahitaji shilingi bilioni 7 pesa nyingi. Na hiyo bridge inatangazwa kesho. Najua tuko na mpango mkubwa wa Tharaka Nithi.
Mara 5.
Wow. Kubaliana na nyinyi tukasema hii bridge imelete maafa makubwa katika taifa letu la Kenya. Imetusumbua kwa miaka mingi. My assurance to you is that we now have a solution for Nithi Bridge.
Kabisa. Tell you what.
Who are those people saying hiyo ni uongo?
There is 50 billion that has been mentioned.
Yes.
There is 5 billion that has been mentioned. There is 7 billion that has been mentioned. A total of 62 billion shillings to construct that road, right?
Those are 6 times.
The bridge that has been launched 6 times. 62 billion shillings is shy of 18 billion shillings to be 80 billion that is supposed to change Nairobi.
Sort out Nairobi. Lakini unatengeneza daraja.
Wow.
It's making sense now.
Daraja ya 62 billion.
Yeah. There's a problem. And that is why even as a enhanced civic, voter registration comes to a close today, Dennis and Do, people have to be critical around, okay, tushachukua kura, tushachukua, ID, etc. Then what?
Yes.
Yeah. How does that translate to something meaningful? Nithi Bridge.
He said it himself, 6 different occasions. The president has told you about Nithi Bridge. I hazard a guess that the bridge is not completed. It's just really. So those are the kind of things that we talk about.
Are you surprised? I am not.
This is not AI. This is he said this on a number of occasions. And this is just one example. So whether it is that you want to be critical or whether you're just waking up in the morning and saying, well, let me be negative about something, these are words that have been spoken. And I think it resonates very clearly with what at least 2 of us in this room have experienced this morning on what floods can actually do. Dennis gave us stories about how he's got to buy gumboots. He had to buy gumboots so that he can get from his gate to the entrance of his apartment. These are some of the things that we're talking about. Not blaming one suit but saying that you have to start to ask questions about the person at the very lowest level. What is it that they are actually doing? And indeed, if we have to get to the point, it's like when you play Monopoly and you land on a particular place, that icon that you use, whether it's the dog or the whatever, sticks in that place until you stand by your property. Stand by your property. And if you have somebody who is going to be in a particular position and they're not able to stand on business, not able to stand by their property, you have no business putting them back in a position of leadership. It gets as basic as that. Let's not complicate it. Let's not romanticize it. Let's not try to make it sound sexier than it is. No.
These are real life experiences.
Absolutely.
And by the end, I just didn't finish that story. It's a real life story. So you hit that bridge, you pass all the way, Kangundo Road, you get to Ruai bypass. That road is blocked. So you have to come all the way back to Mombasa Road, to Tawala, to get to where we are right now. If you are coming from Jogoo Road in the morning and you want to go to Kangundo, that road is blocked. Think about another alternative route.
Now, as you think about the alternative route, you're not just thinking about an alternative route when it comes to how you're going to get to a particular place. Think about an alternative route to ensure that you live in a space that's governed well.
Yes. and the inconveniences that misgovernance creates. Now you have to add more fuel.
Yes.
It is the
already
cost has
expensive.
skyrocketed. It's up there.
It's
You
not even
increase
fit for your vehicle.
You increase the distance.
Well,
Wakenya tuko na kazi.
it's interesting that we're going to talk about that we speak about that because then it leads directly into conversations that we'll be having today. So we've taken a minute to say good morning, but you know what it is? It's Kev, it's Dennis, and in the Situation Room with you this morning. It's Wednesday, the 28th of... It's Tuesday. I've just been taking us very fast.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday, the 28th of April.
Yes,
Am I?
correct.
All
Yes.
right, good.
2026.
Thanks.
Don't say 2036.
Where?
We shall be there.
The Nithy Bridge will have been done by then.
done. Amen.
So we have a couple of conversations today. Let's start from our last conversation. It's interesting because the broad-based promise talks about unity. But let's see if unity is being tested by zoning battles. Catherine Omanyo is the Busia Women Rep and the Acting Secretary General of ODM. She will join us for a conversation at 9 o'clock. It'll be interesting to hear what we've got to say about bridging things because, that's where we are. People want to be deputy president. Now, what happens with that in the system which Kenya operates is that if you are the running mate of a presidential candidate and that candidate wins, you become the deputy president. So somebody was asking yesterday, is this person actually voted for? Well, you kind of do. You vote for the presidency.
Yeah.
And this is made up of two people. All right. So the battle for the DP seat 2027, who wields more power? Odhiambo Otieno is going to join us. He's got some points. This you want to hear. And then at 7 o'clock, which we start off closer to here, Abby Zwena is she's a young woman. She's a political analyst. She's also part of the Linda Mwananchi team. We're looking into the Linda Mwananchi tours, a nod from Baba's bedroom. Did Kisumu mean that, okay, guys, go ye forth and conquer? We'll talk about that as we get into the show this morning. Karibuni sana, everybody, for joining us today. Our audience on KTN, welcome to the Situation Room. It's Kenya's biggest conversation. We're also on your live streams, YouTube, Facebook, and on X. EVE East, turning the wheels of steel and getting things done this morning. Thank you, everybody who puts it together. Joy B and Mutanu, everybody, Karibu. All right, we're getting into it, but we went to Equatorial Guinea yesterday.
Equatorial Guinea. Osido, so this country we're talking about, Equatorial Guinea, has had a president for the past 47 years.
Yeah. Wow.
47 years. It's a country that is rich in oil reserves. But that oil reserve, like a common African story, it goes outside, then comes back, you buy it at exponential rates. They say the economy has potential, not that it's working, has potential because of the resources that they do have. But let's go to the proverb. He who listens builds a house. He who talks tears it down.
Wow.
I want to quote somebody that I spend many of my hours with every day. I see him more than my family members, actually, in some cases. And the quote is thus, shut up.
Whoa. He who talks builds a house.
No.
He who listens builds a house. He who talks tears it down.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
means... Oh, you want to go first and do?
I mean, I've already said.
Oh, like shut up. So we just shut up, right? As it. So there's a difference between listening and doing and talking and building.
Yep.
And I think that it's more or less resonates to what we were talking about earlier on.
Yeah.
Where people will be asked to stand close to the work that they have done.
Yeah.
So if you're busy working, it will show. People will see. If you talk about what you are doing, you really don't have to talk about it. People will see it.
Yeah.
But if you just want to talk and do nothing, so you're more or less just allowing us to listen and see nothing.
Absolutely.
There's nothing you're doing.
True.
Can I interpret it?
Please.
Please do.
I almost know what you want
Or
to say,
you
but
shut
okay.
up.
So, no. So I'm going to give it based off what we've just done, right?
Yeah.
So Nithi Bridge is a conversation piece because many people have died on the bridge.
Yeah.
We keep on talking about what we will do, but
Yes.
people keep on dying on the bridge.
Yes.
So how about you just shut up?
I told you, it's coming.
Nah, it's just
And let
how
it
about
be.
you just shut up?
Tutazoea.
Work on the bridge.
Yeah.
We will not see death.
Yeah.
And that will speak for you.
There you go.
Amazing.
So
kazi yako itakuongelelea
kabisa. And I keep saying the lion doesn't strut about the grasslands. And anybody who says the king of the jungle is the lion, it's not true, because lions don't like jungles, they like grassland.
Yeah.
Anyway, that aside, the lion doesn't strut about telling all the animals in the grassland that, hey, elephant, I'm the lion. Hey, hyena, I'm the lion. No.
Can you see me? I am here.
I am here. No.
they just know.
Yeah.
Just know.
Sawa. So
When you see the grass moving, you're like,
Yeah.
akopal.
Yeah.
Time kukimbia.
Wow.
So
Nithi Bridge, let's shut up.
And it's not just about Nithi. It's about our healthcare system. It's about our education system. It's about our roads, the infrastructure.
We will tell you.
It's about our lives. Our
It will tell you.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It will. Yikes. Citizens' budget is interesting because a lot of times, the people who crunch the numbers are sitting in Treasury. They started this process in September, trying to follow the PFM Act, trying to do all these things. And then they come and tell you, based on what departments have told them, what the budget for the year for the country is going to look like. And so a citizen's budget actually makes sense to me. We talked about this yesterday just a little bit with Wanjiru, and it makes sense. Because you keep going to the people and say, Wangapi wanataka. Okay, see, then you do what wanataka. If the people of a particular area, a particular constituency, particular ward, this is why it is very important that you know who your ward representative is.
Correct.
And that you then know that this is the person that we want to. It's actually one of the most important roles, but we tend to think that it's because it's a collapsed role, it's smaller, that it's not important. It is actually, in my opinion, much more. It's much more than some of the ones up there.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're telling yourself, you should, since you have to represent the people, it should be a citizen's budget. Let the people tell you that in Matungulu, we don't have a road.
Yeah.
So that should make up what the ward then cascades to the county,
Yes.
what the county now cascades to Parliament, what Parliament in its oversight role now says, you know what, excuse me, National, we need money here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it should actually be a citizen's budget. Not all these people coming and thinking, oh yeah, we need to build 35,000 kilometers of road between. No, stop it. Using the road.
No, it's misplaced priorities sometimes. Yeah. And if you look at what you're calling the budget process, so how it is made, you start from a CIDP, the County Integrated Development Plan. Is a plan of very many small things put together, but the small things are not your own things.
Exactly.
It is the people telling you.
Should tell you this is
These
what
are our markets, kiosks.
Yeah, so we're going to be looking into it, by the way, because everybody comes and says, markets. Yeah, okay, let's build markets. Okay, that's nice. But then, guess what? The market is there, rotting, and people are what? Selling outside the door of the market.
Hey.
So what do... So what do they need? Have you asked them actually what is needed?
Yeah.
Yes? So we could go on for days, but we'll do citizens' budget every week, and we'll look from roads to markets to schools to healthcare to education across the board. We'll do that. Yeah. But let's say a quick hello to you this morning as you're tuning in. Thank you for doing that. Like we said, our live streams are up on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Always a pleasure to have you as you join us in these conversations. And so let's see where you're tuned in this morning. My phone is shouting, but okay, we'll just forgive you, my friend. My phone is a guy, by the way. Just so that my phone is a dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so a very good morning to you. Don Sabua, the world is looking for you. Don, are you okay? Talk to us. Peter Kiare says, good morning, tuning from Mombasa. Be patient. Sometimes the wait is longer because the blessing is bigger.
Amen.
Amen.
Robert Mbogo tuning from Mombasa this morning. A very good morning to you. And Kasioka, I'm Jambo.
To Jumbo.
To Jumbo. We don't Jumbo. Zach OK says, good morning, tuning from Minneapolis. Good morning to you, Karibu Sana. Leo says, hello, Princess India Seto. Yes, say hi to Kev. So after the threats, cajoling and court ruling, UDA officials don't contribute what their party leader preaches every day in and how it is transforming Kenya. Who's fooling who?
Walipa ushuru ni kujitegemea.
Oh, okay.
Na ifikie hizo ofisi zingine zote.
Oh, kweli? All right. Wait, leo ulibeba suti? Sawa kuuliza. Sawa, okay. My mind is just like, sorry.
Anarusha.
Where? It's totally different. Anyway, moving along swiftly, Desmond Oti says, good morning. If court approves compensation, then kuna mtu mahali atarudiana na ex. Guess who?
Yeah.
Okay. Hisa Daniel says, good morning. Tuned in. Wakenya Wenzangu, good morning to you. Brilamir says, good morning, Spice from Lower Kabete. Mvuatu, lovely day ahead. Yes, it rained the whole night and into the morning. Folks are waking up to that. And today schools are opening. And there are children who walk to school. And they're going to walk in those areas where it rained the whole night. So please, if you see a child going to school and you are in a position to help this morning, please do. Yeah. Please do.
Citizens' budget.
Yes.
Please go to these students and ask them what they need. Perhaps buses to ferry them to school.
Well, hey. Good morning from Nairobi, says Pan-African Kenyan. My prince says, good morning, family. Good morning to you. Our president needs a translator to understand Nigerian English. Naso den Toko. Nigerians have responded by saying they too need a translator to get what he's saying. I beg you should leave that thing, Joe. Erica War says, good morning. Mwaka Luhimbo says, good morning, family. Hukudar, it's raining and it's cool. Have you heard about 29th October report? Tell us what that is. Bishanga says, good morning. Producer, wanatafuta Jimmy Wajigi. Sasa Mimi, I've passed the message. Don't shoot the messenger. I've just told you what they've said. She knows why I'm telling her. Guchu Ogembo says, good morning, Team Spice, tuned in. Bernard Nyaperi says, good morning. While you were away, the two gentlemen became the CEOs. So Ambia Seto to follow us Osido. So it's Aseto and Osido. So Aseto na Oseto. They're always looking good in suits. Wait. I hear there was one day you were killing them, but stepping on their necks.
It's good to have variety.
You were stepping on their necks.
CEO. Yeah, that day we were CEOs.
You were doing the thing proper.
We always CEOs. Just that from here, Aseto is going for some.
Today I'm in Silicon Valley.
He's going to inspect the bridge. The bridges that have had issues.
Today I'm just working behind the scenes. I'm making apps and whatnot.
BTS.
Silicon Valley.
But you don't say.
Toto Amigori. Jennifer Atenyi says, good morning. Ndu and Mr. Osido, Aseto. Good morning, tech team and Spice family. Ndu, Aseto and I are fancying chocolate color this morning. Yoni nini sasa, Jennifer? Please explain. Hey. Warega says, good morning, tuning from the North Coast. Good morning to you. To do or not to do, there is no try, says young Jedi Kabisa. Refari Red says, good morning, Ndu, Aseto and Osido. Hey. Warega says, Aseto. Ise Puonjo Ndu Doluo. Did I speak it correctly?
Yeah, you did.
I don't know what it means. Was I insulting myself?
No. Do you know what it means?
Absolutely not. I just saw Ndu.
The fact that you read it shows that I have been teaching her.
Oh, you've been teaching me Jaluo?
Yeah. See?
Okay.
Is there a question mark at the end of that?
Yes.
So it means basically what Aseto is saying is a different thing. If there's a question mark, he's asking Aseto whether he has done some teaching on Luo.
That she's read it.
But if he says Isepunjo Ndu Doluo, it means he's confirming that Aseto has already taught you.
No, he has asked. There's a question mark.
Yeah, so he's asking Aseto, have you taught Ndu Kijaluo?
But sasa ni wewe unafaa kujibu.
Ndio nimesema fact that she can read the Luo is answer.
Well done, mwalimu.
Mtu Flani says, in this thing called life, don't forget to live. Kabisa. Mashari and Jerry tuned in this morning. Ndu Aseto and Osido watching from Portland in Oregon. Beja, DMD Ambassador Zia Beja, good morning. Tuning from Paddington, London in the United Kingdom. Great insights from the Situation Room. Karibu Sana, thank you for tuning in every morning as you do. Sheila Masasabi says, good morning, Spice family. Our government's priorities have always been a mess. Healthcare, our teachers, the list is endless. But a bridge, why are our leaders like this? Mister, I don't understand, Jerry.
It's unfortunate.
That bridge has been mentioned 6 times in 4 years. Is it 4 years?
I think part of it was before he even became, while he was a DP.
Yes.
Yeah, the first time.
Before that, it was before he was president.
Yeah.
Good morning. Is that true, Osido? Aseto? Why? I mean, you're right, but also where? What are you talking about? I don't know. Isakale says, good morning, Spices. Let's see what this day has for us. Kabisa, thank you for tuning in. Isa, how are you? Hope you're well. Robert Mayo says, so it's a number of votes that determines the degree of development in that given area. Well, it's like, that's what they say.
Yeah.
People keep saying it, and it really irks me that people actually open their mouth and say some of these things in public.
But as you talk about the citizens' budget, there's something quite profound that we also need to focus on, which is the formula that CRA uses. And part of that formula is the population.
That's true.
So there could be some truth in saying Amuna Kura, but that should not be an excuse.
It shouldn't come out of your mouth.
It should not, it is immoral.
It is,
Yeah.
actually. Good morning from India. Namaste, namaste, namasakra. Sad state of affairs back home. Enoch, we see you. Enoch Mzinza says good morning. Osena Emily says, good morning, Nico. We're very happy that you're here. Max Opondo says, good morning. Can we get Sifuna asking about his plans and policies? It's time to start giving us the next phase. Cindy, Wadega says, can't get enough of Ndus frames. Sana. Julius Opani says, good morning, my morning base. Karibu. Good to have you locked in. Karibu Sana. Everybody, as you tune into the room, we're very grateful to have you here. We're going to look into the headlines in just a little bit. Right on the existing protocols. As you come into the room, you have been welcomed warmly on this chilly Tuesday morning when the rains came down the whole night. But have you built your house on the rock? That's the question. As we get into things this morning, we'll look into the headlines in a bit. Karibu Sana. Thank you for joining us. From Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard. Billion shilling suit. Suit as the one you wear or suit as the one in court. You can decide which one that is. That's what's on the front page of The Standard today. There's a picture there of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. We know that his case is back for appeal today. From yesterday until tomorrow. So 3 days. A 3-judge bench is going to decide whether his impeachment was unconstitutional, because of course that has gone to the appellate court. This is Court of Appeal. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who was impeached in October 2024, had his day in court yesterday as his lawyers challenged the process, terming it rushed, biased and politically driven. They argued he was denied a fair hearing and raised claims of bribery and ignored court orders. If he succeeds, the case could open the door to billions in benefits and compensation claims against the state. Let's look at a timeline of what has happened. Just after I share this quote by Paul Mwite, who's his lawyer, the allegations against Gachagua should have been handled through prosecution in court or referred to the National Cohesion and Integration Commission rather than being used as grounds for impeachment. End of quote. So that timeline, this is what it looks like. His impeachment, early October 2024, impeachment motion tabled in the National Assembly. October 4th to 5th, public participation held. I remember it was like a party at Bomas where people went for that public participation. I don't think I've seen so many people come out for public participation in Kenya at once. And that it was held at the Bomas is also very interesting.
Yeah.
It would later be challenged as rushed and flawed. October 8th, just 4 days later, members of parliament passed impeachment motion and the case moves to the Senate. Remember in this case that an impeachment motion for deputy or the president is actually purview of Parliament.
Yeah.
Okay. Mid-October, Senate hears the case in plenary. Gachagua's lawyers allege bias, limited hearing time, and procedural breaches. By mid-October, note, this is all happening in just 10 days. Senate upholds impeachment on 5 charges. Gachagua is removed from office. By the 18th of October, Professor Kithure Kindiki sworn in as deputy president. And then later in the year 2024, Gachagua files court challenge citing unfair ouster process and illegalities, I beg your pardon. Now, to where we are right now, April 2026, Gachagua drops reinstatement bid, now seeks compensation and full benefits. So this is interesting. He said, I don't even want to be deputy president anymore. There must be acknowledgement that I was illegally and unconstitutionally removed, impeached. And what I want is my benefits as well as compensation for the, pain that you caused me. So what's ongoing? So it's not the Court of Appeal, sorry, it's the High Court. Is to rule on the legality of the impeachment. The decision would cost taxpayers billions of shillings. So, of course, just to come back and make that correction, that the impeachment was not taken to the Court of Appeal. What happened here is that Rigathi Gachagua has taken the case to court, that whatever happened was illegal. So he's bringing his own suit. He brought his own suit in that sense. So that's what the headline looks like. It looks like it's going to be interesting because those proceedings come to an end tomorrow. Africa urged to do more on health financing as donor aid shrinks. It's a no-brainer if you ask me. It's an opportunity that lies there. It's on page 2. Bola grandchildren win estate war against their uncle. He's a prominent rancher in Muruti in Laikipia. So that's been going on for some time. and the grandchildren seem to have gotten control of the estate. So, of course, the Gachagua case is again carried on page 4, where judges hear claims of rushed and biased impeachment. It'll be very interesting to see, as those proceedings come to an end tomorrow, what the decision will be. Parents squeezed as school pile on additional fees. This is not fantasy. It is not Alice in Wonderland rendition. This is actually the case. That because of the fear of delayed capitation, and schools feel the pressure to do something about it, they have loaded this responsibility on parents. And actually, in a couple of WhatsApp groups, and parents asking, come on, you guys, some of us have sponsored children.
Yeah.
And in a year, they already know that they're going to give us this money for our children to go to school. What are we supposed to do? We're bringing children to school today. What are we supposed to do? COB 6, strict control of sovereign fund. Okay. Once an ODM fortress, Coast now is up for political grabs ahead of 2027, is what is being looked at. Kenya Kwanzaa's Jekyll and Hyde rule. Bold vision, broken execution. This is in an analysis today by Dennis Kabara, who's a management consultant. You want to get your copy of that to have a look into today. The financial standard is what is in the pullout today, and it is Tuesday. So quite a lot to look at as far as that is concerned. As was expected, people are already trying to say, is it about the shoe after Sawe sets a new world record, or is it a man with grit and determination who decided that he was going to give his best? And of course, everybody's already struggling to see what fits in terms of a shoe. All right.
I mean, if I was Adidas, you know what to do.
I should have jumped on that.
Should have jumped on that line, you know. But let's go to the Daily Nation. So we'll start with the headline there. And Gachagua's U-turn. He argues hurried impeachment proceedings saw a House resolution sent to the Senate at night. So that is the same story that has been picked up in other dailies as well. But as well, there's that story on Sebastian Sawe, super shoes and supersonic marathon speed. And once again, we say congratulations to the man for a job well done. And the governor wanted by MPs over suspect 14 billion shillings payout. 14 billion. So Kakamega Governor Fernandez Baraza is among former executives of the Kenya Electricity Transmission Company, KETRACO, wanted by MPs to answer questions on irregular payments of 14 billion shillings in way leave compensation. The National Assembly Public Accounts Committee wants Baraza to respond to queries raised in an audit, including inflated payments. So that is there for the governor to go and respond. So UK pursues fraudsters hiding in Nairobi. So Shah operated in tight-knit business and social circles, leveraging trust among wealthy associates and financiers. That is a subhead. And when I say Shah, it is S-H-A-H. Si Shah yenu.
There is a name of somebody.
Shah. Yeah. So he's been operating, I think, and stealing from Kenyans and pretty much other citizens of the world as well.
Sorry.
Yes, that one.
Like Shah.
Like Shah. Yes, so there is an interview on Professor Munavu, final reflections on education. He passed on. The world as well just paid homage to a man who did so much for the Republic. And family seeks to secure release of Kenyan driver held by ICE. ICE Nile Maju, US. You know those border patrol agents? Gunzauko. So Cyrus Tairu relatives are in a race against time to raise the bond as deportation case looms. Gachagua now goes on for a huge payout in impeachment case that has been followed up in page 4 as well. And raise health budgets, African nations have been urged. So Africa Center for Disease and Control and Prevention Director General Jean Kaseya says Africa must invest in its systems, trust its own solutions, and work together to take full ownership of its health agenda. He acknowledges progress in health security and local manufacturing, but said that more can still be done. So what we're talking about here is fact that when it comes to addressing health, local problems, local solutions. And I think that's the way to go. That's the way to go. If it's about going into research to medicine that you're consuming here in the continent, let's do that research on ourselves and develop medicine that suits us best. You could look at the stars.
Thank you. So on the Star today, Tuesday, April 28th. Kenya's nuclear energy ambition takes off in Siaya. So this is about government's intention to increase production to 10,000 megawatts in 7 years. And there's a story there on page 4 to 5. You can have a look at it. The front page talks about the nuclear energy ambition that is taking off in Siaya. And on page 2, we have push to enlist students for IDs raises legal questions. So the LSK has echoed these concerns, warning that obtaining personal data from minors would require explicit parental or guardian consent, an obligation that may be difficult to fulfill consistently within a school-based framework. So that's about a bill that has been sponsored that talks about 3 million school-going youths who are eligible for vital documents each year. And there is a photo there of Albert Kitio, Secretary of National Registration Bureau, who has warned that collecting biometric and personal data from underage children may violate the law. As we talk about health, again on page 2 of the Star, there is an issue about drug resistance, where Kenya makes major changes to the way malaria is treated. So a story by John Mushangi that says Kenya will introduce a new malaria treatment approach from October to curb drug resistance and preserve the effectiveness of existing medicines. So health officials say that the country will begin implementing multiple first-line therapies, MFTs, a system in which more than one approved malaria treatment is used across hospitals and health centers rather than relying on a single standard drug. Page 3 of the Star, 1 tree a day. So there's a student who has an idea about growing into global, an idea that is growing into global inspiration, where Mwendwa has planted hundreds of trees, describes as act of responsibility. So it goes that when Didier Mwenda was asked how he would respond to the escalating threats facing the planet, his answer was simple: plant a tree seedling every day. Plant a tree seedling every day. You can catch that on page 3 of the Star. Moving on page 4, of course, is a story of the Siaya nuclear plant, where this is a dream that is said to be becoming a reality. The story goes also into some of the hazards you can look at and the responses by Nupea in page 5, where the story about the Siaya County nuclear plant has been written. On page 5, Nyanza Lobby Group welcomes nuclear power plant in Siaya. Again, thoughts about how that should work and what it looks like. On page 6 of the Star, Sifuna factor behind delay in naming opposition flag bearer. I heard you say Sifuna. Was it Sifuna or Wanjigi? Oh, Wanjigi. So
Everybody has
principals
something.
are engaged in spirited efforts to quote the Linda Mwananchi movement. So these are about fresh details that have emerged on the high-stakes political calculations delaying the unveiling of a joint opposition presidential flag bearer ahead of 2027 general election. The Star has established that opposition principals are currently engaged in spirited efforts to quote the Edwin Sifuna-led Linda Mwananchi movement, and that sources within the opposition say the coalition spearheaded by DCP boss Rigathi Gachagua and Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka is deliberately holding back on naming a candidate as it seeks to consolidate support from like-minded factions. And do we have a guest this morning from Linda Mwananchi, right?
Yes.
We will get to hear that. And then lastly, on page 7 of the Star, this is a fight for power. Power like PAWAA. Power. We want power. Tunataka power. Okay. Why ODM's leadership wars are far from over. So this is an article by the Star written by Luke Awich, talking about power struggles. The leadership wars in ODM appear far from over, with the breakaway faction openly laying claim to the top leadership. So you can have a look at that, of course, on My Government, also as an inside pullout of the Star. Long stories of what government is doing, including various tenders that you could probably wish to pick up and apply for if you qualify.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, I just wanted to look at a story real quick. It's carried in the Nation today. You mentioned it. So when there are 14 billion shillings worth of payouts in one county, and MPs are asking, okay, we need to look into this because it really doesn't make sense. I'm concerned about the fervor with which this is going to be gone after. Kakamega Governor Fernandez Baraza is among former executives of the Kenya Electricity Transmission Company, KETRACO, wanted by MPs to answer questions on irregular payments of 14 billion shillings in way leave compensation. The Public Accounts Committee of Parliament says Baraza is to respond to queries raised in an audit, including inflated payments. And it sounds like, your run-of-the-mill thing. You come, you answer, tell us what did or did not happen. But then beyond this story, what happens really? Is he going to be called? Will he answer? If if he gives a satisfactory or unsatisfactory response, then what happens after that? Because we have report after report after report about how payments are irregular. Somebody's called to answer, but then what happens? Because somebody comes and then explains, does it cease that does the irregularity then of those payments then cease? Does it stop being irregular because I showed up to say, well, 1 billion of those 14 billion shillings we had to kind of pay out to somebody because we were late on what? Then does it make it less irregular?
This is sad, and I think part of it, Ndaseto, is our auditing system, where for years we have been lagging behind for 3 to 4 years. So when Parliament is looking at the Auditor General's reports, there are reports that are a few years behind. Of course, right now a lot of work has happened, and I believe that we are not doing as bad because there is enhanced staff capacity and systems that have also been inbuilt in government. But the backdrop of this is that you have somebody who is a former managing director who is running for governor. But you have questions around 14 billion. So at what point do you get cleared to run for governor?
This is it.
And a governor is a county chief responsible for billions to hundreds of millions of resources. You know?
It's a question where if you have data or questions on you, right? Do you run for office as you clear your name? Or do you stay outside office as you clear your name? And once you're cleared, then you can run for office.
We
need to make it so clear.
Justice Lynn Ngugi gave a ruling on this thing. And she actually dealt with a number of people. I believe Ferdinand Waitito, Mike Mbuvi Sonko, questions about Evans Kedero. And she said, in the time, according to her ruling, now whether people have adhered to it or not, or decided to toss the thing out the window, she said, if you are under investigation, then you don't access your office. True. Period. She said it very clearly.
I think it's a good, set or lesson learned as we head to the next election, that people who have questionable issues, people who have NYS 1, NYS 2, concerns that Kenyans are still asking and wondering over, we need to tighten that belt.
Absolutely.
Stop people.
I think we need to look at Article 90 of the Constitution that says you are innocent until proven guilty. And you can access all the appeal mechanisms. We need to change that law.
That's true.
And 14 billion is not kidogo money.
It isn't.
What can need to do?
Nithi Bridge.
And it's at Nithi Bridge. It's 7 o'clock.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.